Have you ever been told your eyes burn when you speak? That there's something about your presence, alive, intense, impossible to ignore? Maybe your face lights up when you talk about what you love. Maybe your movements are quick, expressive, your words spill faster than your breath can follow. Do you have that little half moon in your chin? Or maybe that sharp, defined nose? Or that glow in your skin that looks like a little sunlight? Then you might just carry the mark of the fire temperament. Fire souls don't walk, they blaze, they live through passion, conviction, and emotion. They are the ones who lead, inspire, and love all the way, but also the ones who burn out, who crash after giving everything they have. If this sounds like you, stay with me, because in this video we'll explore what the fire temperament really means, how to recognize it in the face, the body, and the energy, how it shapes your emotions, your relationships, even your health, and how Bach Flower Remedies can help you keep your inner fire bright without letting it consume you. Hi, I'm Michelle, a Bach Flower practitioner, vibrational healer, and face reader. I help sensitive and passionate souls understand the map written in their own features so they can live in alignment with their nature instead of fighting against it. If you want to know what temperament you are and what it means for you, your relationships, your career, and soul path, you can book a personal face reading with me, where we'll decode your temperament, your emotional patterns, and your natural gifts. If you've ever wondered why you react so quickly, love so fiercely, or lose energy so sudden, your temperament might hold the key. Long before psychology had words for personality, people understood that human nature flowed with the same forces as the natural world: earth, air, fire, and water. 4 elements, 4 ways of feeling, thinking, and being alive. These are what we call the temperaments. They're not boxes to trap you in, but archetypal patterns. The way your soul expresses itself through your body, your emotions, and even the shape of your face. You can see the temperaments in people the way a mountain carries earth in its stillness, a breeze carries air in its movement, a flame carries fire in its brilliance, and the sea carries water in its depth. In face reading, each temperament reveals itself through form. The angles, the skin, the tone, the sparkle of the eyes, the way someone gestures or laughs. Your face is not random, it's the imprint of your inner element. And on a deeper level, your temperament shapes your emotional landscape. It determines how you love, how you react, what inspires you, and what drains you. When your element is balanced, you feel alive, purposeful, and at ease. But when it's out of balance, you start to feel disconnected from yourself. Tired, anxious, angry, or numb, depending on your nature. That's why I love combining face reading with Bach Flower Remedies, because the face shows how your elements expresses itself. And the flowers help bring it back into harmony. In this series, we'll explore each temperament, and today we begin with fire, the light of the heart, the spark of passion, and the energy that can either warm the world or burn itself to ashes. The fire temperament is ruled by the heart. It's the spark of life, the energy that gives warmth, courage, charisma, and vision. People with a strong fire nature live from passion. They need meaning, excitement, connection. They throw themselves into what they love: work, relationships, ideas. And when they're inspired, they can move mountains. But the fire temperament also burns fast. It's driven by emotion, not logic. So when inspiration fades, it can fall into impatience, irritability, or exhaustion. They're often very generous, very expressive, and magnetic, but also easily hurt because they expect others to live and love with the same intensity. Fire types rarely rest. They give, create, and speak until the body forces them to stop. That's when the flame turns inward and can become anxiety, inflammation, or even burnout. The eyes are bright, They sparkle, dart, or seem to contain sunlight. They look directly at you when they talk rather than looking up or down or around. The eyes are large, bright, and lively. The iris is fully visible and also much of the eyeball can be seen. It's a sign of alertness, openness, and passion. The eyes sit high above the eyelid crease, giving the impression of watchfulness and spiritual focus. The skin has warmed, rosy or flushed tones, sometimes a golden glow. Facial expressions are lively, animated. The whole face participates in communication. The nose is long and rather narrow, the neck is tall and slender, the forehead is low and wide with an oval hair implant. The face shape often has inverted triangular features with a low and wide forehead but a pointy chin, high cheekbones, an impression of an upward movement. If you see someone with that half moon chin, that's a person with a really fiery chin. The mouth is expressive, full of life, often used to speak quickly or laugh loudly. The mouth is rather wide with nicely shaped lips that look quite equal over the length. They're not specifically thin or full, and there's often a powerful impression around the mouth. The ears are beautifully shaped, slightly larger and richly supplied with blood, which is a mark of strong life force and vitality. The body is well structured, upright, quick in movement, with animated gestures and expressive hands, and a strong heartbeat, a good muscle tonus, and well-developed muscles. They can have clammy hands more often, and their weak area are the muscles in the stomach. The posture is often upright, with chest and breast pointed forwards and arms rather positioned backwards. Breath is mostly fast and superficial. Tension is mostly found in the breast area and in the lower back. And they tend to love bitter food. They love food with a lot of protein and fat because, well, they burn a lot of energy in a short time. They also often drink a lot to cool down. The fire temperament craves connection and admiration. They want to be seen and they give all to those they love. But their challenge is emotional regulation. They can go from love to frustration in seconds. Their warmth can turn to heat, their openness to anger, and in career they are natural motivators, teachers, entrepreneurs, performers, people who bring vision and courage. But they need to learn to pause, to allow reflection, to not turn every spark into a wildfire. In health, fire types often show inflammation, skin eruptions, red rashes, heart palpitations, digestive heat, headaches. These are the body's ways of saying, hey, slow down, cool down, and rest your flame. Because when fire doesn't rest, it consumes its own fuel, the very essence that keeps it alive. They have the tendency to have no time to be sick, and they do heal easily. Their pain tolerance is rather low, and old complaints often resurface. Here are 5 positive core strengths. Passion and enthusiasm. They bring life, energy, and warmth wherever they go. Number 2, charisma and presence. Able to draw people in, lead, and inspire. Number 3, quick thinking and initiative. They often act and decide rather than wait. Number 4, expressiveness and authenticity. They don't hide. They show what they feel, and that invites connection. Number 5, optimism and vision. In their best mode, they see possibilities, innovation, and growth. And the shadow side, or things to watch, are impatience and impulsivity. Moving too fast, acting before thinking, burning through that energy. Number 2, hot temper and mood swings. When triggered, they may explode or burn out. Yeah, I know. Number 3, difficulty with slow, mundane, repetitive tasks. The spark wants novelty and movement. Number 4, overexertion and burnout. Because their energy is high, they may neglect rest and moderation. Number 5, struggle with vulnerability and depth. Sometimes the shine hides fear of being ignored or hurt, and when the fire dims, they may collapse into emptiness. Because the fire type tends to be expressive, charismatic, dynamic, and drawn to movement and interaction, here are career fields that often suit him very well. Speaker, presenter, coach, trainer. In short, roles where they can use their voice, their energy, and connect with people. Entrepreneur or startup founder. Initiating new projects, bringing vision into action. Actor, performer, artist. Creativity-based roles because of their expressiveness and presence. Leadership roles, team leading and management. When they channel will and inspiration, they're very good at that. Crisis or change-oriented professions, event coordination, public relations, sports, or roles requiring quick decision-making. They often thrive on that spark. If used well, the fire type lights the way. When out of balance, they may burn out or lose focus. When fire is too strong, you don't put it out, you balance it. And that's where Bach Flower Remedies can help in a way that feels almost alchemical. Bach flowers are not physical medicine. They are vibrational messages from nature, living patterns that speak directly to the emotional field. Each flower holds a memory of harmony. When you take it, you're not suppressing emotion, you're reminding your inner flame of its natural rhythm. So let's look at the remedies that bring fire back into balance. Vervain for overexcitement and intensity. Vervain is the pure fire archetype. It's for the person who burns with conviction, who wants to change the world and can't stop talking about it. They work late, they speak passionately, fight for every cause, but end up drained, wired, and unable to rest. Vervain teaches moderation, patience, calm enthusiasm instead of feverish zeal. It helps the flame glow steadily instead of flaring up and burning out. Impatience for irritation and restlessness. Fire moves quickly, but life doesn't always follow. Impatience helps the fiery soul slow down to let others move at their own pace without anger or frustration. It restores grace to timing so that the rhythm of life feels like a dance instead of a battle. Holy for wounded passion and anger. When the fire of love is hurt, it becomes the fire of anger. Holy heals jealousy, resentment, and suspicion. All the emotions that come from love turned inward, in fact. It reopens the heart to warmth, generosity, and compassion, the true flame of fire. Heather for emotional overflow. The fire soul often feels so full of life that it spills into others, talking too much, needing to be heard, afraid of being alone. Heather brings quiet confidence and listening, helping the fire person reconnect inward instead of constantly radiating outward. Alum for overwhelm and burnout. When the fiery achiever takes on too much, saving everyone, doing everything, and then suddenly collapses. Alum is the remedy that restores strength and perspective. It reminds you that your worth isn't in doing, but in being. In the language of elements, too much fire is not cured by air because air makes fire grow. If you add air, too much stimulation, too much talking, too much mental energy, the fire only flares higher. So let's not go there. To balance fire, you need water, emotions, rest, reflection, going deep, slowing down. Water nourishes and cools the flame. And you need earth, grounding, routine, stability, food, sleep, a slower rhythm. Earth gives fire somewhere to burn safely. If you are a fire person, your healing lies not in more excitement, but in cultivating stillness. Let your flame be a hearth, not a blaze. Bach flowers act like these elements. The Bach flower Impatiens brings water's flow. Alum brings earth's endurance. Vervain refines the flame itself, turning it from chaos into light. So maybe as you listened, you started to recognize yourself. The warmth in your face, the quickness of your mind, the way you move through the world like a flame looking for something to ignite. Maybe your eyes shine too brightly sometimes, or your heart feels too open, or you give until you're empty, and then wonder why the world feels so heavy afterward. Maybe you see it in your body, the tension, the sleeplessness, the racing pulse that comes when you can't turn yourself off. Or maybe it's in your relationships, the intensity, the honesty, the hunger for real connection, and the pain when others don't meet you there. That's the fire temperament. It's beauty and burden intertwined, passion and purpose living right beside exhaustion and frustration. If this feels like you, if you see yourself in the fire, in the quickness, the passion, the exhaustion, know that nothing about you is wrong. Your fire is sacred. It's just asking for balance. Through face reading, I can help you understand your elemental blueprint, how your features reveal your temperament, your natural strengths, and the lessons your body is teaching you. And through Bach Flower Remedies, I can guide you to the exact flowers that help you find that balance again. So your fire becomes steady, luminous, creative, and deeply alive. You can find all the links below to my face reading sessions, my Bloom into Balance course, my Remedy Circle community, and the free class to begin your own healing journey with the Bach flowers. Because the goal is never to put out your fire, but to help it burn in harmony with the rest of your nature. When fire is in balance, it becomes love and action, light and darkness, warmth that never fades. So if you've ever felt too much, too intense, too passionate, too alive, maybe you're not too much at all. Maybe you're exactly what the world needs. A fire that finally learns to shine without burning itself away. I loved making this video. Thanks for being here and see you in the next one.